What's up everybody, this is Andrew with Programming Liftoff, and today we're going to learn how to use Python OpenWeatherMap to get weather data. We're going to learn how to get the temperature, wind speed, humidity, and the weather status. I'm going to be recording this video using a Linux programming environment on Nextech. If you want to follow along on Nextech, just go to next.tech and make an account, and once you do that you can log in and open up the Launchpad, filter the stack to the Python stack, and launch that sandbox. Or if you want to follow along locally, you can do that as well. Alright, so first we're going to need to download Python. If you're going to use the sandbox, you can skip this step, but if you're following along locally, you'll want to make sure you have the latest version of Python installed. So head on over to python.org/downloads to get that if you don't have that already. And next we'll be using the Python OpenWeatherMap library. So to download that, just head to the Python OpenWeatherMap repository, and you can scroll down and look at the installation instructions. It's just a pip install. So I'm going to copy this and go back to the sandbox and run this. And I'm actually going to change this to pip3 to install it with Python 3. And looks like we got an error, so make sure you use sudo in this environment. Cool, and that looks like it installed. And you can copy this and put this in the startup script. So if you click on the environment over here, you can add a startup script. So this will run it each time the sandbox is launched. If we just install it over here, next time we launch the sandbox, we'll have to reinstall it. So putting it in the startup script installs it every time the sandbox is launched. Alright, and now that we have that installed, we're going to need to get a OpenWeatherMap API key. So to get an API key, head on over to openweathermap.org and click the sign up button up here. And once you sign up, you'll see a screen that looks like this. Click on the API keys tab right here, and it'll show you your API key here. So make a note of this or leave this tab open, as we'll be using this key later to write the program. Alright, so now let's get started writing the program. So first I'm going to create a file called main.py. You can call it whatever you like. And let's check to make sure that the Python OpenWeatherMap library is installed correctly. So just import PyOWM, and then we can run this. And you can see it ran without any errors. So that means the library is installed. So now let's continue with this program. And I'll grab my API key. Alright, so this will initialize the Python OpenWeatherMap library. And once we have that initialized, we can use this to get the weather. So we'll say observation equals owm.weather@place. And then you can pass a city name as well as a country code in here. So I'm going to use San Francisco. And then country code of US. So what this will do is this will get an observation object from Python OpenWeatherMap. That's why we call it observation. If you want to see that, you can go ahead and print it out. And I'll clear this and then run this program again. And you can see it's an observation object. Okay, and with this observation object, we can get the weather. So to do that, we'll say weather equals observation dot get weather. And that will give us a weather object. So we can go ahead and print that to see that. Alright, so we see we have our weather object. And now we can get the temperature from that weather object. So we'll say temperature equals weather.getTemperature. And now we can print the temperature. We'll run that. All right, so you can see that that's a Python dictionary, and that contains the temperature, temp max, and temp min, and we'll just ignore the temp kf for this video. So the temp is the average temperature, and the temp max and temp min are the possible maximum and minimum temperatures in San Francisco. So we'll just use this temp value right here. So to get that out of the dictionary, we can index into it like this and provide the key that we want, which is temp. So now if we run that again, that'll just print that temperature. All right, so the other thing you'll notice is that these temperatures look extremely hot, and it's probably not that hot in San Francisco. So what that is that's actually in Kelvin units. So to get it into Fahrenheit, you could pass Fahrenheit to the get temperature method. All right, like that. And then if we run that again, we can see that it prints the temperature in Fahrenheit. And that looks a lot more reasonable. You can also pass Celsius to this method. If you run that, it'll print it in Celsius. All right, so now let's go ahead and print this out as a string. I'm just going to say print the temperature in San Francisco is, and we'll print this as a formatted string so we can use string interpolation. So we can say just temperature right here. And we can run that and see that the temperature is 51.49 degrees. Cool. And one other cool trick we can use is to output an actual degree sign. We can say degree sign equals, and then we can set this equal to a Unicode string. And you can do that like that. And then inside these curly braces, you can specify the Unicode symbol. So we'll say degree sign. And then right here, we will use string interpolation again to print that degree sign. And we can see there's an error. It can't decode the Unicode character. All right, so this should actually be degree space sign rather than an underscore. So if we make that a space and run that again, we can see it outputs with the degree sign. Cool. So there's multiple ways you can specify the location to get the weather for us. So in this example, we used a city name and country code. You can also use a zip code. So to do that, we'll replace this weather at place call with a method named weather at zip code. And then we can pass a zip code in here. And then we can pass the country code after that. And we can run that and see that the temperature is 51.39 degrees, about the same as it was before. That zip code is also in San Francisco, so that temperature should be about the same. Next, we'll take a look at how to get the wind speeds. So to do that, we can remove these last two lines. And then we'll say wind equals weather.get_wind. And then we can print the wind. We'll clear this and run that. All right, and we can see it prints the wind speed in degrees. The wind speed is the speed in meters per second, and the degrees is the direction that the wind is blowing. So let's get the speed out of the Python dictionary. So to do that, we can index into it the same way we did before and get the speed from there. If we run that, we've got the speed now. And if we wanted to convert that into miles per hour, we can do that by passing miles underscore hour here and running that, and that'll print the wind speed in miles per hour. All right, next we'll take a look at how to get the humidity. So to do that, we can type humidity equals weather dot get underscore humidity, and then we'll go ahead and print the humidity. And we can see 71, so that means the humidity is 71%. Alright, so a couple more methods we'll take a look at are the getStatus method and the getDetailedStatus method. So these will give you a short description about the weather, and we can go ahead and use these to see what the description of the weather is. So we'll say status equals weather dot get underscore status, and then we can print the status. If we run that, we can see that it says clouds. So, like I said, just a short description about the weather. And then we can also use the get detailed status method to get a little more detailed status. If we run that, we can see scattered clouds. So, still pretty short, but nice little description of the current weather. Alright, that'll do it for this video. I'm going to be recording some more videos soon to show you how to get the sunrise and sunset times, how to get weather forecasts, and how to build a weather GUI. So stay tuned for those videos. And these videos are actually based on a course that I created on Next Tech. So if you want to check out that course, head to next.tech and make an account, and check out the catalog tab on the left, and then scroll down to the Python OpenWeatherMap course, and you can check out the course. Alright, so thanks for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.